Welcome to another video. A walk on the wild side, and I am here in Blackpool. That's the big one. Just going over the first drop. If you like all things Blackpool, hit the subscribe button. And also, it's a very special video this because I've actually made it to 75,000 subscribers. Can you believe it? 75,000 subscribers. 5 years ago, I picked up a camera. My friend told me, Mark, he said, Steve, why don't you pick up a camera and just walk around Blackpool? You know about Blackpool. And I thought, well, I thought, I didn't really know a whole lot about Blackpool at the time. I wasn't like a history buff or anything like that. But I picked up a camera and I started walking around and people liked it. And now 5 years later, I've got 75,000 followers. Can you believe it? Where will I be in another 5 years? Well, will I be here in 5 years' time? Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? But anyway, I thought I'd give a couple of shout outs in this video and tell you what my plans are. If I've got any plans, I'll just make this thing make it all up as I go along. Maybe that's the reason for my success. If that's what you want to call it success. But anyway, I'll tell you a little bit more about it and do some shout outs after this. So I'm just here on New South Promenade. I'm using my waterproof camera just in case it starts raining. It's not quite as good quality as the one that I normally use. It's an Osmo Action 5 if you're interested. Let's have a little look at the big one there. And we've got the Boulevard Hotel there as well. Who remembers the Star Pub, which used to be right there? I've got an old picture of the Star Pub as well. I believe it was a Bass pub as well. Yeah, that's my favourite drink. Draft Bass. So this is how the Pleasure Beach looks on a bit of a damp Sunday, and I think it's going to clear up later on. But there's a big blue hotel down there. Got some nice buildings down this part of the promenade. You know, look at that there. Look at that building there. It's quite swanky, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I'm heading south now. I'm just heading down to where the mirror ball is. I just want to show you something that's going on down there. But anyway, let's just have a little look at the view. Oh my goodness, look at this, folks. Just look at that. It's so calm today. I know it's a bit damp. It's been a bit of a damp morning, but just look how calm it is. That is amazing, isn't it? It could get quite thundery as well. But anyway, I'm just going to stick the camera down now because I want to give out a few shouts of people who I've met over the past couple of weeks. I've met quite a few people, and I've had a few selfies taken with people and all that. So I thought, well, I'll just give them a bit of a mention. I'll tell you what, I think I might head down to the beach at this rate because it looks so chill down there. Even the seagulls are chilling today. They're not freaking out like they were the other day. They're still nesting at the moment. Anyway, here's a shout out to Fonzie Daz, who's been following my channel for a while. I've got a picture of him. He sent me this. He said, this is a picture of him, and it was taken in Spain, and it shows him holding up a bass towel. Now that's made me think, did they used to serve draft bass in Spain? Well, I think it was served sold all over the world, draft bass. That's my favourite beer, by the way. And it's making a bit of a resurgence with a rebranding. So there you go. That is the question. Can you still get it in Spain? It looks like they used to serve it there in the olden days. Anyway, I don't know how old that picture was, Daz, if you want to let us know in the comments. I also bumped into a bloke in Wetherspoons. I'm always bumping into people in Wetherspoons. So here's a picture of the guy I bumped into in Wetherspoons. And he told me to give a shout out to Jordan and Rob Graham. So there you go. Shout out to you. Also a shout out to Steve from Leyland, who I met in the same Wetherspoons on the same night. Yeah, it's just starting to spit again now. It might chuck it down in a minute, but anyway, let's carry on with this. I bumped into a really nice couple the other night on the promenade. It was a Friday night, I think, and I took a picture with them. This is their picture. That I don't know the names, but I believe they were from the Cleveland area. So hi to you if you're watching. And also hi to Sharon and David, who I met in Foxhall the other week on a very, very sunny and warm day. So hi to you as well. Okay, I said I might head onto the beach. Here we go. Let's have a look down here, shall we? Just look at this view here. Come on. Oh, look at the starlings. There's loads of starlings down here. Wow. Don't you wish you were here in Blackpool right now? Just look at this. This is amazing. We've got someone over here metal detecting. Who remembers the old sea wall that used to be here before this one? In fact, they just built this one over the top of it. It was made out of basalt, and it went up black, that black volcanic rock, and it went up there and it kind of swooped around at the top. Yeah. And then I think it was around about just after 2000 when they started to put all this in here. They put the hexagons in. You can see where the tide gets to, can't you? Where you can see the tide line there. So it's doing a pretty good job. We can see the mirror ball up there. I'm going to show you the mirror ball. I want to show you something up there. There's a question I want to ask about something up there. I'll do that in just a minute. But just look at this now. It's so calm today. And like I say, it's a little bit damp and it might start raining again. But at the moment, it's not bad at all. Okay, so I'm now just up here by the world's largest mirror ball, here on New South Promenade in Blackpool. And I was just thinking, you know, with 75,000 subscribers, I've just been looking at the analytics, because on YouTube you can have a look at the analytics and you can see how your channel's growing and all that. And you can get right deep into it as well. And it's just like a steady line that just goes up like that. Since I started, it's amazing really. Where's it going to end up? But just thinking back to when I started, it's not like as if I'm not famous or anything like that. I'm not claiming to be, I'm not famous now. I mean, I'm just a relatively small YouTube channel really on the whole. But when I started, I did have a little bit of a name, I suppose, as a photographer. You know, quite a few people did know me. And when I started the channel, I showed my face from the start, and I think that's probably a good thing in a way. You know, there's a lot of people that do YouTube and you don't really know a whole lot about them, do you? Not that that's a bad thing, you know, I mean, but maybe I'm a bit too open. What do you reckon? I'm a little bit too easy to get hold of. That's why I had to shut down the messages the other week when I was saying there's too many people getting in contact with me and it's becoming a bit of a nightmare. So, but anyway, I think putting my face on the camera and talking about Blackpool, because I've lived here all my life, it made sense, and it doesn't seem to have worked out too bad. So I've just got a quick question to ask down this end of the promenade before I head back to the pleasure beach. I'm asking for a bit of help. There's the Solaris Centre over there. Now there's a block of flats over there, and it's a massive redevelopment of an old care home and a load of hotels that were in that block over there. And I believe that when they first did the plans for that, they wanted a big tower on the corner there with, I think it was 11 stories. Now, I'm sure I saw a picture of it once, and I mentioned it in a video the other day that was part of the original plans, and I couldn't find anything on the internet about it. So I'm just wondering, was that just, is it just me? Am I just, have I got it wrong? I don't think I have. I'm pretty sure I saw like not a skyscraper, but you know, like an 11-story. But whenever the developers, whenever they always submit plans, they know that those original plans are never going to get put through, but they'll always try, won't they? And they'll eventually end up with something. And that project over there is almost complete. There's not much more to go, and they're expensive, those flats as well, really expensive. Coastal Point, yeah. I wonder if I'll be able to afford one if I keep doing this. So if anyone knows anything about those flats back there, let me know in the comments. Am I just imagining things, or did they actually have plans for a big tower? They always have these quite fancy plans sometimes, these developers. But anyway, I'm heading back up to where the pleasure beach is, and let's check out and see how busy it is in Blackpool on a bit of a damp Sunday. Check it out, a Spitfire. Yeah, the Spitfire's back in Blackpool. Look at that. It's just going back into the airport again after a pleasure flight. I'm quite surprised actually that they're flying it around in this weather, because it's not the best weather, is it really? There you go. How about that, a Spitfire, eh? You never know what you're going to see here in Blackpool. But anyway, these are the, what are they, whale tail? Benches. And these were installed when they put the new promenade in, and they're meant to spin around. But yeah, I think that was a bit of a bad idea. The council ended up locking these off. They were meant to spin around with the wind. You see the shape of the fin there? They were meant to spin around and protect you from the wind. I think that was the idea. And yeah, they must have been like going like mad like that. So yeah, another expense. They like wasting our money sometimes on stuff that doesn't always work. And there's something else up here which I have mentioned a few times. I'll mention it again. They had some artworks on these plinths just up here. So if you ever come to Blackpool and you're just opposite the big one, the first drop, you'll see these two plinths here. There's one, and there's another one over there, and you've wondered what they are. Well, they used to have artworks on them. Yep, and they were by Peter Blake, and the reason why the council took them away is because someone tried to nick them. And the information is just down here. I don't know if you can read that. It was called Life as a Circus by Peter Blake, and these artworks were quite delicate, really. Yeah, they're about sort of 6 foot tall on each one of those, depicting circus and fairground sort of scenes. Have a look at the big one. How we're looking. It's actually looking pretty busy. Look at all this traffic down here. Who remembers when you used to be able to see into the pleasure beach? You used to be able to see in before they built all that. That was built around, what was it, 1995, Ocean Boulevard. Yeah, now you can't see along there now. You used to be able to see the lake with the log flume, and you used to be able to see right through to the Big Dip. You can still see the Big Dipper there. And who remembers the Space Tower, which used to stand just over there on the corner of Watson Road? Well, I can hear lots of noise coming from the pleasure beach now. It's just like the olden days, yeah? Well, not quite, since they started charging you to go in. Not quite like the olden days, when you used to get thousands and thousands of people going in. It's a little bit more exclusive now, but I tell you what, it's looking pretty busy up here now. You know, this car park is pretty full. Let's go and check on the prices, shall we? Let me know what you think. Up to 3 hours, £6. What do you think? £12? Up to 12 hours, what do you reckon? I don't think that's cheap really, is it? But you are right next to the pleasure beach. We are right next to the pleasure. I'm just going to take a look and see how much it costs to park on the road by the meter. Yeah, you've got to watch it when you come out of here because you have to cross the tram tracks. But, oh, there goes a big one there. Wow. There, it's looking pretty busy along here at the moment. I'm just going to check and see how much it costs. You can pay in cash or by card, I believe. Wow. Up to 1 hour, £1.80. Up to 2 hours, £3. Yeah, it's more expensive, isn't it? But you can park, at least you can park for a long time. You're not limited. So that's one thing. Yeah. Let me know what you think. So we've got quite a few shops and cafes on this part of Ocean Boulevard. In fact, on the other side where I was before, there's pretty much nothing. It's only this side of the Ocean Boulevard that's got businesses. We've got Ripley's Believe It or Not there. And just here we've got Pizza Hut. I'm just up here by Venus Reborn, and we've got a little green space here. Look, and if you look carefully when you come round here, this is where the trams turn round, you might see some rabbits around here. I've seen rabbits around there next to this here, Venus Reborn. They've got a fountain as well. I don't know if the fountain works, but if you come for the illuminations, you'll see this during the illuminations. It's pretty bright and it's pretty loud as well. So I'm just here by the loop. This is where the heritage trams turn round, or at least where they used to turn round. We're really hoping that they get the heritage trams out, or some of them, for the illuminations, the Western Train tram, the Boat tram, and one of the balloon cars. Nothing's certain, I'm afraid, but we're hoping that we do get them back out again and we'll see them turning around and picking up passengers. This is where they pick up passengers here. Anyway, I'm just by the... It's actually starting to get quite noisy now. There's quite a lot of... Just over there, it's Sandcastle. That's where the old open air baths used to be, yeah, back in the olden days. I don't remember a whole lot about it. The sandcastle was opened in 1986, and it was a bit controversial at the time as well. Yeah, so this is another bit of an anecdote, but in 1986, or in the few years after the sandcastle opened, I don't think it did all that well. It didn't have any of these slides that you see here. It was a plain glass building at the front. Looked a bit like a fancy office block, actually. And I don't think it did very well. And they actually knocked down the Derby Baths, I believe. They had to knock the Derby Baths down before they could build that. A little bit controversial, what do you reckon? Is it true that they had to get rid of the Derby Baths before they built this? Let me know. Tell you what, it's a bit mad round here. We've got taxis coming and going out of this place here, the Grosvenor Casino. And when the sandcastle was built, I can't remember what this was originally. It might have been the Coronation Street Experience, this. It was that for a few years, and it had a massive big sort of mock-up of Coronation Street outside. And then it became the Crystal Maze. And now it's the Grosvenor Casino, and I think they seem to be doing really, really well. Really, it's very fancy in there. I might need to go in there, but I don't know if they'll let me do a video in there because it's a casino and I don't think they'll allow filming, but I might be able to do something. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there now, and that was my little video of Blackpool celebrating 75,000 subscribers. And I also showed you a little bit of New South Promenade by the Pleasure Beach. Just got the Wetherspoons over there. There's 3 people sat outside spitting a little bit. Might start raining. It might get some thunderstorms. I want to go on a thunderstorm chase. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for all your subscriptions. Thanks to any new followers who just started following us recently. If you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and tick the bell for notifications of new videos, and I'll see you again on the next one.